Alright, so this one is important because once you accept the possibility that intelligence is not limited to biology, and once you entertain the idea that humans may not be central, a new question emerges. Not where are they, but why would they stay hidden? Peter Lavender and Jacques Vallée both circle this carefully, not dramatically and not hysterically, but carefully. The phenomenon, whatever it is, doesn't behave like explorers. It behaves like something that understands exposure and avoids it. If an advanced intelligence exists, biological, artificial or informational, it would know something very basic. Direct revelation destabilizes systems, human systems in particular. So religion, politics, economics, identity, all of it rests on shared story. Change the story too fast and you don't get enlightenment, you get collapse. Imagine waking up tomorrow and it's undeniable. Not lights in the sky, not rumours, not blurry footage. Undeniable. Not only are we not alone, but we are not in control and never were. So what happens? Markets freeze, religious institutions fracture, states panic, military postures just shift overnight. The fragile idea of human sovereignty dissolves. So if you were an intelligence operating beyond human civilization and you had long-term perspectives, would you announce yourself or would you manage perception slowly? So look at how the phenomenon behaves historically. It morphs. Fairies in the forest, angels in the sky, airships in the 1890s, saucers in the 1950s, plasma orbs and drones now. It appears within the belief system of the era, not to shatter it entirely, just enough to destabilize, just enough to adjust. So Vallée calls it a control system, not control in a tyrannical sense, so more like feedback, a thermostat. Too much certainty, introduce ambiguity. Too much dogma, insert anomaly. Too much mechanistic arrogance, let something slip through physics. Hidden intelligences, if they exist, might not hide because they're weak. They might hide because they're patient. And here's the part that Lavender gestures towards. Intelligence agencies don't only hide secrets from their public, they manage perception because perception is power. Now imagine an intelligence that understands perception at a scale beyond human cognition. It wouldn't land on the White House lawn. It would insert itself into myth, into dreams, into liminal experiences and into cultural cracks. Always deniable, always ambiguous, never fully provable. Because ambiguity protects both sides. Humans can dismiss it, and the intelligence can operate without triggering systematic panic. And there's another possibility. Visibility might not even be the goal, because humans assume intelligence seeks recognition, but that's human ego speaking. Ant colonies don't need recognition from a deer. And ocean currents, they don't announce themselves to the fish. Advanced intelligences might not require any validation. They might simply require function. If reality is information at base, and intelligences exist at multiple layers of that informational stack, then some of them may operate in dimensions of process we barely even detect. So like software running beneath a graphical interface, you don't see it, but it's executing. And if human civilization is one small node in a vast informational ecology, then some intelligences might monitor, adjust, correct without ever declaring themselves. Not secrecy, stewardship, or perhaps maintenance. So here's the unsettling angle. Hidden intelligences might not reveal themselves because humans are not ready, not technologically, psychologically. We're still a species prone to worship and hysteria. We build cults overnight. We destabilize ourselves over symbols. Introduce undeniable non-human intelligence into that mix and watch the fever rise, red hot, white hot. So the phenomenon remains half visible, a nudge here, an encounter there, enough to expand certain minds, never enough to collapse the system. And perhaps, and this is speculative, some humans already know, not fully, but enough. So intelligence communities, scientists under heavy NDAs, people who've glimpsed behind the curtain, and they remain silent, not because nothing is there, but because what is there cannot be introduced bluntly. Disclosure, if it ever happens, would not be a press conference. It would be a gradual cognitive adaptation, a merging of worldviews, science and myth, physics and psyche, material and informational reality, until the idea of non-human intelligence just becomes normal, and then it won't need to reveal itself dramatically, because by then we will already understand we are inside something larger, and that larger something has always been here. So why might some intelligences stay hidden? Well, because revelation is a blunt instrument, and evolution, psychological evolution, requires a lot of subtlety. So that's tonight's transmission. No fear, no hysteria, just an observation. If they exist and they remain unseen, it might not be because they're absent, it might be because they're careful.